Joey Logano says, our fans are spoiled in regards to the access they have to drivers during an average race weekend compared to other leagues like the NFL. Spot on, spot off, Tyler.
Hold on a second, Tyler, before you answer this, because I watched this whole video to make sure that his quote was not
out of context.
Out of context. It was not out of context.
All right, well, I'm glad you did. Yeah, he loves this. I feel like he likes to get some attention when he's on.
He's
trying
to. Maybe he's trying to knock Denny off the booed list. I mean, what's he like, or the top of the booed list, I should say.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel like
Denny
I understand what he
that.
meant, but his delivery was just
so
not the way to put it.
Tyler,
you know?
what do you think? How do you think he meant it?
I mean, I don't know how he meant it. But from my perspective, yes, the fans get a lot of opportunities to, I feel like it's easier to get into a garage, a Cup garage, Xfinity garage, truck garage, than it is to, well, I guess you can't really compare truck and Xfinity, right? It's a different level. But, like when I went to see a Broncos game last January, I mean, it took knowing some serious players to get on the field and just stand on the field, not necessarily get to meet Russell Wilson or meet this player or this coach. I think it was one of the assistants before they cleaned house, so I lost my in over there. But I mean, it takes serious connections to even just get close to them, right? Not necessarily even guarantee you're going to get a photo or an autograph or a conversation with them. So I feel like NASCAR, the tracks, the teams all try to make a pretty good effort to give the fans a lot more access than the other sports do. And I mean, I guess I can't really touch on it because I don't know, right? Like, I don't know how many other, I don't know if, like NFL teams are getting fan mail and they're having their players come in and sign stuff. But like we were talking about earlier, I went and sat, if you're sitting in a suite, I feel like you're not going to get an experience with the fans like that. You're sitting down right by the bench. Your interaction is different, right? And I can't really speak on that like you can, TJ.
I think that where I get lost here is I think that sometimes you get confused with access versus being seen. Like Kyle Larson stands at the back of his trailer at these dirt races and will meet every single person that is lined up there, and they take pictures, and the line goes on for hours and hours and hours, it looks like. Joey references walking out of the driver's meeting and signing a handful of autographs. Is that that's get close to us, or they can walk out in the grid and take a picture with me 5 minutes before the race?
No, they can't.
No, they cannot. Some people can. Maybe it's sponsorship or a guest of the team
or if you
might be able to get a grid
onto
picture. But those people don't have access. You talked about like the way you got access to the football game was you had to know some people. Like I know how many. I mean, I know you don't know this number off the top of your head. Maybe you can say one or twice a week. How many meet and greets are you doing a week?
At the track, I feel like we got somewhere 4 to 5 number.
But how many are public?
Yes, that's my point.
Oh, it's public, and you can walk up and no, it's all like
it's all sponsors.
It's with Monsters, with Beast,
guests of the team. It's never just like, hey, come in the hauler and hang out with Tyler.
Like
that's
no souvenir. There's no souvenir deal. You're going to be here for an hour.
Yeah, I mean, and you do stuff out in the fan zone.
That is one thing that maybe could change that a little bit, right? Like I feel like, when it comes to merchandise, like depending on what your deal is, I feel like there's a good number of drivers out there. There's some drivers like Kyle Larson, I think Elliott. There's other drivers that have it set up really good to where, in a way you get rewarded or you're getting something out of it, right? Like, and then there's others that probably don't see much, if not any, of merchandise sales. So you're not really. I know that sounds bad, right? But you're not really incentivized for the right or the wrong reasons to interact, right? So that's something I think that could certainly make that better, right?
I think our fans have incredible access. I think that being the fact that they can come in the garage, but you're not like he makes it sound like Joe Schmo can walk up to his car 5 minutes before the race.
That can't happen.
I'll say it. Joey Logano is full of shit. Okay, he's full of massive
shit.
Massive. Because what he's saying isn't true. Fans 8 years ago, pre-COVID, pre-recession in 2008, they were accustomed to Tyler Reddick. No offense to you because you're younger, you don't remember these days, but Tyler Reddick's caliber of driver would be doing 60-plus public appearances a year. And he would be doing them in grocery stores for Monster. He would be doing them in Hooters restaurants. He would be doing them all over the place that the public can get to. Now the sponsors are not spending the money to fly the drivers in because the return analytics have changed. What's important to the sponsor? It's not getting 500 people into a grocery store anymore. It's completely different. So, like for Joey to sit here, who grew up rich as hell in the Northeast, who raced his whole life, who came down here, races now, he said NASCAR drivers make a little bit more money. The they do. How much money does Landon Huffman make a year racing?
Not much.
How much money does Joey Logano make a year racing?
So, Brett.
Don't tell me. I'm not done bitching yet. Hold on a minute. So don't tell me that our fans are spoiled, because they are not spoiled. They're accustomed to, a fan my age is accustomed to being able to meet Bill Elliott at McDonald's at University area by UNCC after qualifying from 6 to 8. That's what they're accustomed to. Joey Logano probably don't sign. Okay, how many times does he go to Planet Fitness a year to sign autographs? How much money is he making to do that? Good for him. He's not doing it as often as he was when he got here. Once he signed his 7-year Pennzoil-Penske contract, COVID hit, he went missing. Don't give me that. And this isn't just about Joey Logano. This is about any of our drivers that don't appreciate our fans, because our fans spend $2,000. We talked about this on here. $2,000 to $5,000 a weekend to go and take their families to the racetrack. That is a pile of money. So the fan standing on the fence, or the fan that gets to walk out on the racetrack for the pre-race concert, they don't get your autograph. They might get to high-five you as you walk down the stage.
Yeah,
yes.
It's not guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed. Yeah. What we do know about our fans is they love our sport. They're passionate about our sport. They want to meet our drivers. So let me speak for you fans by saying this. There are other ways now to meet your drivers. Just don't be a pain in the ass about it. Know that they go to places like Millbridge. Know that Kyle Larson races all over the country. Know that Tyler Reddick tweets wherever he's going to be when he's going to do something fun, if he's at a Broncos game. I promise you, if you walk up to Tyler Reddick and say, hey, man, will you take a selfie real quick? As he's walking through the parking lot going into the Broncos game, he 100% will. But to say our fans are spoiled, I don't care what Stephon Diggs did on the sideline, TJ. I'm tired of seeing that video.
I'm just saying that's what you can do
in comparison.
This is a regular Christmas ticket. Episode, okay?
A regular ticket gets you that, though.
A regular ticket doesn't get you that.
At the football game, it did. That's my video. Nosebleeds.
Okay, so if you go to the 49ers game and you're in the upper deck, you're going to get that video of playing pitch and catch with McCaffrey.
If you walk down there,
but that's a ticket you can buy, right?
Like, you walk down there and the ticket. They don't check tickets 3 hours before the game like that. You walk down there and do that.
Our fans don't deserve to be spoken to in the context and the way that he said that.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is our fans have great access. You know, we talked about it here before. They get to listen in on the radio, which you don't do with these other sporting events. They get to listen in a lot of stuff. But to say they're spoiled,
pay for that.
Yeah, I know.
They pay for that.
But to say they're spoiled is just it just crosses the line for me.
Okay, so Brett, you mentioned there's no reason, sponsors. You and I remember, I think I was at a bar with Brad Keselowski every single Thursday night before a race
GMR Marketing
for Miller Coors. Yep. And we did the same thing with multiple sponsors. Tyler, we brought you to a few Xfinity stores, Harvick Xfinity stores. You mentioned sponsors might not see the value, or their goals have changed.
They've changed.
Right. So how do you bring that back? What is
NASCAR's got to bring that back.
How?
NASCAR's got to figure out a way, the same way that we go into markets. Man, when I landed in Vegas, Freddie and I walked into a store, and it was a $250 F1 shirt that was hanging up for sale. But when I landed in Vegas, the whole airport said F1 is coming. When I land in Vegas on NASCAR weekend, in the same airport, I may not see a single sign that says NASCAR is coming and or NASCAR is here.
We landed in Vegas on NASCAR week, and there was all F1. That's all it said.
I'm trying to be nice about it. My point is, we're in the check cashing business. We got to write some more checks. I saw NASCAR announce they've got this big, 50,000+ square foot productions company. That's awesome. We got to be on the radio. We got to be on the billboards. We got to be on all the things. And NASCAR has to figure out a way. NASCAR was in the best business of the world. Winston took their sport to the marketplace. Guess who came in and did it even bigger? Sprint. $70+ million a year they spent on activations, taking our sport to the marketplace. When Monster came in, Monster's business model was completely different. It wasn't wrong. It was right for them. Now there's 4 presenting sponsors, but nobody is taking us to the marketplace the way that M&M's did, the way that UPS did. I could keep going. I'm not going to bore you with that. But like we've got NASCAR has to figure out a way themselves what's the most efficient way to take our drivers to the marketplace, because every time somebody meets Tyler Reddick, here's the best thing about our drivers, including Joey Logano. When you meet our drivers at a hospitality, at a restaurant, at a bar, at an appearance, 5 minutes before the race because a sponsor got you a pass, you feel there and you feel like you know our driver and you have a big connection with that driver for the rest of your life. And you pull for that guy for the rest of your life because you feel like you know him. Oh, I know Tyler Reddick. We hung out. We took a picture together. He asked me if I had kids. Like that is what we're missing as a sport, because our sponsors spent all that money to take us and make us in the marketplace with our drivers. We don't have that anymore. If it were, when we went to out west or Midwest, Menards would have all the Penske drivers in there signing autographs for 2 hours apiece. They'd have their own race fest in the parking lot. I ain't seen that.
I don't know. I agree to some extent, but we're still selling out. So fans are obviously staying there and they're going to the bars. They're doing things like, I think that I don't know what the answer to this is, but the appearances are happening. I mean, we're doing them. Not as much as there was.
They're down 90%.
Is that a stat you made up?
Go do the math.
Okay.